So I have to say, I am really surprised. I mean, really surprised. I've been taking Zepbound for the last 4 weeks, and the results are pretty amazing. My name is Anita, and thank you for tuning in to Zepbound and Beyond with Anita V, or with Nita V. So let's get right into the results. Last time I weighed in at 245.8. This week, I weighed in at 245.4. So I lost another 0.4 pounds. The total for that, for a whole month period, is actually 7.4 pounds. 7.4 pounds, y'all. To me, that's really good. That is really good. That averages out to be about 1.8 pounds per week, and that's right in the ballpark of where I was hoping to be, anywhere between like 1 pound to 2 pounds per week. I'm right on track. And I'm really happy about that. Now, I'm sure that most of it was probably just water, but water or not, is 7.4 pounds gone. 7.4 pounds that hopefully I never have to see again. 7.4 pounds that I'm not carrying around on this body day in and day out. So yes, I am extremely happy about my 1 month results. Let's talk about what I did. I didn't take a before pic before starting this, so I don't have like a comparison to show you guys. I didn't take one, at least at the beginning of the journey. I did take one into the second week of this. It was probably about 2 weeks and 3 days when I did a pic. So I'm going to share that with you guys, just not in this video, because I don't think that there's been enough time between when I took it and today. So I'm thinking probably at my 2 month mark, I'll put up a vid to show what changes, if any, you can see in my body. So I didn't take any measurements also when I started this. That's something that I really regret. However, last week, I ended up having a bone density scan, a Dexa scan to be more specific. And when I went in for that appointment, I asked the tech about the body composition one and what that process was. And she said all I needed to do was reach out to my primary care physician, ask them to put in an order for the body comp Dexa, because it is different coding, and I have done actually. So stay tuned. At the end of this update, there's going to be a few updates on that process and how that's coming along. Side effects. So during this journey, I did have some side effects. I experienced a lot of the same side effects that most people do. I had some nausea. It didn't last like throughout the whole week after each shot. It was something that kind of came in maybe on the second day after the shot. It wasn't unbearable because I knew what to do this time around with it, and that was continuing to make sure that I was getting in all my nutrients, and of course making sure I was getting plenty of water, which, by the way, though, I'm still working on. I haven't reached that 64 ounce minimum goal daily. Also had some fatigue. I still deal with, the fatigue after each injection, and body aches as well. I don't know if I've mentioned that in any of my previous videos, but I don't know if the body aches is necessarily from the injection or from my workout routine, but I do experience that on occasion. As far as headaches, I know I experienced that probably the first week. Same time frame as like the nausea. It came in like maybe 2 days after taking the shot, but again, amping up the water intake and of course making sure I was getting in my foods, that really helped with that to keep that down. So my shot, how I've been taking my shot. I've been using the injector pen and specifically staying focused on my thighs during this journey. A lot of people talk about the different areas like the back of your arm and your stomach. I chose to start with my thighs. I'm thinking about maybe doing my stomach with the next set of pens. I had kind of stayed away from it because I heard that the side effects could be a little bit more intense if you inject there, but I'm going to give it a try with my next set of pens, which I have not received yet. My injection day was Wednesday. That was the end of my 4th week and the day that I weighed in. Today is Saturday. I still have not gotten my pens. I actually put in a order request last Friday, so over a week ago for it. Just hit a few snags. My medication is covered via my insurance, and my plan has a provision in it to where the 2.5 is considered like the starter dose. So the expectation is with the plan is that I am to titrate up to the next level after the first box is done, which is not what I wanted to do. So because I requested to stay on the 2.5 for another month, an exception had to be submitted via the pharmacy. That process is just taking a while. I'm hoping to have it by Monday, no later than Tuesday, because I did follow up yesterday, which was Friday, and the request was sent over by the pharmacy as urgent. But Friday being Juneteenth, I guess there weren't too many people working. I'm hoping on Monday, again, latest Tuesday, I'll be able to start on my new packet, which I'm hoping is still going to be the 2.5. I'm hoping they're going to approve it and I can stay on it for another month. But I'm having a little bit of a issue with that. So right now I haven't had anything since Wednesday, and the hunger hasn't really come back too bad. Do have a little bit more of an appetite, but it's not to the point of where it was before I started taking the medication, which is good. So it's bearable. So curious to see, without it having taken it, what my results are going to be next week, how they're going to show up on the scale. All that to say, the medication has been really good for me. It's helped to dampen my sweet tooth, because I do have a sweet tooth. I love chocolate. I think I mentioned that in the last video. I like savory. I love chips. My daughter, I think it's either my daughter or my husband, but they refer to me sometimes as the chip meister. Because I like chips so much. But that has been put under control with taking this medication, and put me in a much better place to be able to make really good decisions, or better decisions at least, on what I'm fueling myself with. So definitely appreciative of that. I've been trying to stay within my calories that the Macros First app established for me, which is right around 1,500. I'm gonna honestly say that I'm definitely not hitting 1,500 calories every day. I'm just not. And that's even with using the app, which, I've faltered some days on that too, just to keep it real with y'all. I have not been perfect, on my tracking, but I have definitely, tried to be consistent, but some days I falter. So I will continue to, to try to get that in, but try to get the amount of nutrients in that I'm supposed to. And all I can do is just keep trying. And there's no such thing as perfection, right? So we just try to do the best that we can. And that's what I'm doing. Water intake. So my water intake hadn't been great throughout the whole 4 weeks that I've been on this. My goal was to aim for 64 ounces, and most days I don't hit that. I might end up anywhere between 48 and 64 ounces, and more often than not, it's closer to the 48. But again, not perfect, and I have set the goal for myself, and every day I'm working hard to try to meet that goal. I've expected that I was going to be a slow loser on this. So the 1.8 average for the first 4 weeks is, again, it's really surprising. I'm really happy about that. I just kind of expected that for me that it would be a slow loss because of my history with yo-yo dieting. I mean, I have tried a lot of things, a lot of different diets, but staying the course and doing all the things, is working for me. Constipation, I know a lot of people say that, that's one of the side effects that they experience with this drug as well. And I will say I have had the same experience, but I am taking like a magnesium supplement to help with that. It's not Mag 07, not anything extreme as that, but I can't think of what the name of the supplement is. I'll share it with you guys. I'll put a picture or something up later, but I take about 4 of these magnesium pills usually every morning. I have a bowel movement. I mean, that might be TMI, but it is what it is. That's what I'm doing. And yeah, it's been very helpful. So what did I eat? What did I eat over the last 4 weeks? Honestly, it was pretty repetitive. I have like a couple of different things that I resort to, and it's just easy, you know, to come back to the things that I know that work. One of the items for breakfast that I have regularly is a cottage cheese bowl. With the cottage cheese bowl, I'll usually put like some blueberries or something like that on top of it and drizzle it with a little bit of honey. But more recently, I've started putting applesauce, like the little applesauce cups that you can get, that we would get for our kids when they were younger. I'll just throw one of those on top of it, and that's actually pretty good too. Another breakfast option that I have a lot of is chicken sausage. It's a good source of protein and it's pretty tasty. I may have that with an egg, have it on like a Thomas's McMuffin, so like a little sausage egg McMuffin. That's been pretty good. What else do I have for breakfast? Protein shakes. I think I mentioned it to you guys a few times that I like the Fairlife core protein shakes. Those are really good. I like the chocolate and I like the vanilla. The chocolate I'll just drink, you know, straight sometimes, either with breakfast or as an accompaniment to like a snack or something. If I want something quick and I need to amp my protein up, if I'm noticing that I haven't got that much for the day. Those are some typical breakfast things that I eat. Lunches, I do have a subscription to Factor. I'll, you know, may have one of those meals here and there. It just depends upon how I feel. I might have it for lunch and sometimes I might have it for dinner. But if I'm not doing a Factor meal, I may just have like some chicken. I'll typically just season it up with like some onion powder, garlic powder, paprika, Italian seasoning, a little salt and pepper, throw it in my pressure cooker for about, first I'll saute it in my pressure cooker on the saute setting, and then I'll put my little trivet in there and put the thighs, because that's what I generally will have is thighs. Set them on a trivet and then put it in the pressure cooker for about 12 to 15 minutes and they come out perfect, nice and tender. And I'll eat that with like maybe a side of rice as like a starch, some yellow rice, maybe some sauteed Brussels sprouts or sauteed kale or green beans, something like that. I'll try to have all the different food groups, you know, on one plate. I've also ate a lot of fish during the last 4 weeks. Fresh salmon, I've had catfish, I've had salmon in a can, and again, I just kind of pair it up with a starch, rice being my first choice, and some type of grain. That's basically been the meals. I'm still really trying to learn what the best things are to eat and the best ways to prepare different things. I don't know. I definitely want to keep it simple though, because I feel like, you know, keeping it simple will make it easier for me. And if I get bored, you know, then maybe just look up different ways of seasoning it or preparing it. So maybe instead of chicken in the pressure cooker, maybe saute it in a pan or something. And the same with fish, as opposed to baking it or putting it in my air fryer. Well, actually, those would be the two options, either bacon or air frying. But yeah, that's basically been the meal plan as far. Just trying to keep it simple, you know, and it's worked out for me. Also, I guess I would say that I've tried to stay away from the scale too. I know in the past, whenever I would weigh myself and it didn't show me what I wanted, kind of make me feel defeated in a way, you know, and like everything that I've done, it wasn't working or it wasn't good enough, and, you know, kind of send me down in a spiral a lot. So I've tried to limit the amount of times that I weigh myself during this journey, and I'm going to continue to do that. So I only jump on that scale on Wednesdays, and whatever it is what it is. I just keep it moving and try to keep in my head that as long as I continue to do the things that I know will help to push me to that goal that I'm looking for, that it'll all work out for me in the end. So basically just keep it pushing, right? Just keep moving forward and don't worry about what that mean evil scale says, and I'm looking at it because it's over here, you know, on the floor. Current issues, I think I mentioned already that I don't have my my next box, so I'm hoping that will come in on Monday or Tuesday. And this is not really an issue, but but I am going to be having that Dexa scan on July 13th. So I'm going to try to see if I can get my husband to come along with me on that one. And maybe we can get a little bit of video of the process as that's going on. So I'm really looking forward to that, and planning on probably doing that every 6 months thereafter. So, I can have that record and I can see that progress that's happening along the way, and, share it with you guys too. So that's pretty much it as far as my update is concerned. I really appreciate you guys tuning in and checking in on me. Be sure to subscribe and follow if you haven't already. If you're actually on your own journey as far as weight loss, and you're using a GLP-1, or even if you're not using a GLP-1, let me know. Drop something in the comments. Let's start a conversation. Let's support one another. I think that having support and people that are of like mind and going through the same thing also helps to make the journey a little bit easier, forces you definitely to stay on track. And because as much as I, want to accomplish my goal and, reach the wonderland, I'm sure others of you, guys are out there that want the same thing. And I'd like to be able to support you guys along the way too. So that's the update for this week. I'm probably going to drop another video. If I haven't done it already, it's going to come before this, a day or so before this, where I share my Thursday weight working out routine, which I didn't mention, but that was also something that I've done over the last month, to help me to get to the results that I had today. And that's working out 3 times a week, doing weights. So I have some improvements that I can do there as well. Like, I definitely want to up the cardio, because I'm not doing as much cardio. I do a little bit of walking after each one of my weight training routines. So there's definitely some room for improvement there. Maybe, walking longer, or just walking more days out of the week. So more to come on that. But that's it for now. Thank you guys again for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, so good morning, YouTube family. It is Friday morning. I am actually on my way for a bone density Dexa scan this morning. It was part of some of the, assignments that my primary care physician gave me last month as part of just getting back on track with my health. I'll talk to you guys about that probably later today, because I will be vlogging my 3-week results later today. But I also wanted to kind of share some additional reasons as to why I'm actually on this journey, to lose weight and to get my health back on track. So, but all that will be later. We're gonna go ahead and get out of here and get this appointment done. I doubt that they'll let me, forgetting my keys. I doubt that they'll let me vlog while I'm here this morning, but maybe I can at least show a little bit of video, walking up into the building. So, all right, I'll see you guys in a little bit. Okay, we are leaving the medical imaging place now. I wasn't able to do the body composition Dexa today. That's a completely different examination. So the tech told me to reach out to my primary care physician and ask about getting a body composition. I'm going to do that when I get back, go onto my chart and send a message over and see if I can get set up for that. I mean, I think it would be a good idea to have it and continuously do it like every 6 months or so, just to see what my progress is. So I'll keep you guys posted on that. All right, I'll see you in a little bit. Hey y'all, I thought I'd come on and share a quick update with you. I found out today that I am going to be having a Dexa scan done on the 13th for the body comp that I'd been interested in. Yeah, I wasn't sure when I went for my Dexa. I think it was last Thursday or Friday. I had a bone density one that the doctor had ordered, and while I was there, I asked the tech about potentially getting one for body comp and what that process would be. She told me all I needed to do was just, ask my doctor to put in the order for it because it's different coding. And that it probably wouldn't be covered by insurance, which it isn't. I did just that. I just reached out via my chart, asked my doctor about it, told her that if it wasn't covered, that it would be okay, that I was willing to pay whatever the cost was. And come to find out, it's only $79. So yeah, that was quite surprising too. I was thinking I was going to probably have to spend at least $200 to get it done, but yeah, $79 is quite reasonable. So looking forward to it. July 13th. I think it's going to definitely come in handy because I didn't do like any measurements and stuff when I first started out on this journey. So having that and being able to look back over the upcoming months at how I'm progressing along I feel like it's going to be a really good tool. So yeah, I just wanted to come on and share that with you guys, and looking forward to sharing the results with you as well, once I get them. So yep, I'll keep y'all posted.